Skull and Bones was in development hell for 10 plus years, has a quadruple A price tag, and a whole year of live service seasons. Was it worth the wait, or should it have been sent to the gallows? Like you, I've only ever heard bad things about this game, but seeing this on sale for less than a tenner made me think surely it's worth it for that price, right? Set in the late 17th century in the Indian Ocean, you'll play as a captain that loses his crew and his ship. You must now work your way from the bottom to become a pirate kingpin. There isn't much of a story here. The narrative is delivered through a pirate lords giving you contracts to complete. The first pirate lord you work for really hates the French. Like, fair enough.
Goddamn bastards! The French laid a fucking trap!
He's worried there is a rat in his organisation. You'll help him find the rat by blowing up ships. Then the next pirate lord you meet will also need your help blowing up ships. This is what 95% of the quests are in this game. This made me unengaged in the story pretty early on. You don't meet any important characters besides the pirate lords. There is no main villain, there are no cutscenes, it's just you in a room with a pirate lord as they spout exposition at you. You sometimes choose what you say to them, but these are not important. The focus is all on the gameplay. So is it good? It plays like Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, but only the ship parts. There is obviously a bit more depth here because it's the whole focus. You sail around looking for ships and places to plunder. You can make the ship go faster by pressing A like in Black Flag, but if you want to go full speed, this will cost the crew stamina. Which feels weird because it's wind blown into the sails. What have the crew got to do with it? They're not rowing the boat. Wind doesn't really play a big factor in speed, like it did in Black Flag. That's about it for the sailing. It's a great podcast game because it doesn't really require a lot of input from you, just occasionally steer the ship when it goes off course. If you're focusing on doing contracts, you'll be sailing for long periods of time over long distances, just to blow up a ship in 2 minutes and then sail all the way back. You can only fast travel between certain places where you can dock. You can't fast travel whilst you're sailing. It also costs a small amount of silver to fast travel, so I didn't end up fast travelling a lot towards the start of the game. You can pick up resources you find along the coast like wood and metal. You just tap a button and it's yours. You don't even need to slow down to collect it. Convenient but boring. That's if the resources are there and hasn't been taken by another player. Sea shanties make a return from Black Flag, which I was excited for, but they just aren't as good. Your character doesn't shout, "Give us a shanty, lads," like Edward Kenway, which I always thought was hype. There are a few returning songs from that game, but they aren't performed as well. Leave Her Johnny Leave Her sounds like a real downgrade this time around. Writing this, it sounds like I didn't really enjoy sailing around, but I did in a turn off your brain kind of way. It's just not super engaging considering this is the vast majority of the game. The combat on the other hand is slightly more engaging. Combat is lifted straight out of Black Flag. You'll press the left trigger to aim and use the right stick to choose what direction you want to fire from. You can place different weapons on different sides of the ship. It's normally the front, back, left and right. I normally put heavy damage dealing cannons on the sides, more long range weapons on the front, and torpedoes at the back, but you can place them to suit your playstyle. There didn't seem like there was a lot of weapons to unlock early on. Then for one main mission you get to use someone else's ship. This was really fun. They have a flamethrower on the front and mortars you can use. This made me more excited to play so I can unlock that stuff for my ship. You can also ram ships to the front of your ship for extra damage. But you can't hold down a button to charge like in Black Flag, so it doesn't seem as impactful. You can also brace to reduce damage that you receive from our attacks. When enemy ships' health get low, you can use your crew to attack by throwing molotovs, or you can board them, but this is just a cutscene and not a boarding sequence like in Black Flag, which sucks. It can be really fun and satisfying, decimating ships, explosions of wood flying everywhere is exciting, cannonballs land with an impactful sound. The actual enemy ships you fight are underwhelming. This is because of the leveling system. For me, this meant the enemies were either way too easy or way too hard. I never found the sweet spot. When I was level 4, I could take on ships that were level 8, but level 9 would be too difficult. It doesn't help as well you can carry as many repairs as you want. These can be used instantly and have a very short cooldown. So dying was never really an issue unless I got one-shotted. Enemies don't seem to fire their weapons a lot, at least compared to me, so it felt like they weren't engaged when fighting. You use the resources you have gathered from plundering to complete blueprints, so you can get bigger, better ships and weapons, which will lead you to taking on bigger ships, and the cycle repeats. It's a fine loop, but I got pretty bored after 10 hours or so. You can go out in a really small boat to hunt sharks and crocodiles by throwing harpoons at them, but this gets old fast as well. I also ran into a giant dinosaur monster thing, which I had to fight, which was very cool and surprising, as I thought this game was trying to be realistic. I feel like this was added in an update, it just doesn't match the rest of the game. What can you do besides ship stuff, I'm sure you're wondering? Practically nothing. You can dock at certain hubs. This is where you can run around on foot to use stores, craft, and sometimes find buried treasures. That's it. The lack of foot combat has got to be my biggest complaint. It would really help break up the gameplay. You can also change your clothes and ship's appearance. You can change almost every aspect of the ship from the sails to figurehead, and even your own crew outfits. Unfortunately, all the best cosmetics are locked behind a paywall, where you can spend real world money to get a nicer hat. This is obviously just shit and greedy on Ubisoft's part. There is also a battle pass that changes every 3 months because you just have to have one of those. This would be more acceptable if the game was free, but some people paid over 70 quid for this. It's just not on. Visually the game looks good. The ocean and sky are pretty, ships look realistic, environments look good as you pass by them. Some character models look a bit off, especially when they move. Lip sync is also noticeably off as well. Overall, Skull and Bones is overhated, but still not very good. Ship combat can be fun, and sailing has a kind of chill podcast game vibe, but that's all the game has. Without land combat or any meaningful characters or missions, it just doesn't hold up. Honestly, if you played Black Flag, you'll constantly be reminded of what this game is missing. Time to rank it. I'm feeling number 30. I figure I have more fun destroying ships than sitting through the Castle of Frankstone story, so it's going above that. But I can't put it above Greedfall because at least that game kept me engaged enough to finish it, unlike Skull and Bones. So new number 30. I think I'm going to play some Black Flag instead now.